So, so it is going to be Otter.
Yes.
Otter is going to be filling in for Toon for this game. We do already have Sneaky Seal in for Goof, so definitely a couple of things that we have to keep in mind here. First time that they're here, grand finals, and Otter just gets to, you know, fill in some kind of pretty big shoes going into this grand finals match here. And Otter just gets to,
That's absolutely right. So, you know, 2 gladiators down, but 2 substitutions strong. We're going to be looking good, I would say. And yeah, you're right. You know, these are kind of, it's not necessarily the phrase of big shoes to fill, but it's like a big task before you or whatever. So yeah, looking crazy, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, we have a lot to look forward to here. Just a lot to keep in mind. We will see how well these 2 teams are going to be facing off. You see how, you know, IX is just playing this very standard roles, things that they are used to. Meanwhile, on the side of GG, definitely having to get used to everybody's new role. Definitely leaning more towards those water starters. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play it out.
And so, my friends, that's going to be coming up on the ready go for our reset of our grand finals right here for Pokemon Unite Blitz number 2. Kanashi and I are ready for this, and so we're going to see the teams start unfolding right here. Probably going to be running that 1-1-3. That's what it looks to be shaping up to be, but we got both of our Greninja players running down in that central area, and so currently, of course, both of our Lucario's top path. Here I am again, mixing up Lutano's name and Lucario. Why do you have to do this to me? But, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be pretty typical of a 1-1-3. And we got our Blissies here on the bottom. We're going to actually see, like, the straight-up mirror.
Yeah, so just a good mirror match down here at bottom. Just playing the levels out quite well, and now you do see IXGT kind of dropping pretty low, but they do know the limits of their Pokemon. They're all just scrapping over these first Audino. Very important here. So we will see if Gaimin Gladiators can go ahead and get that reset. Not only is there, you know, a lot of pressure on the sub, but also just trying to figure out how you're going to go ahead and play through this. It is going to be definitely an interesting matchup moving forward.
Already a minute down right here. We got 9-13. That's going to be pretty typical. Everybody's kind of scoring in those low point values as you're just getting that wild farm accumulated up. We got 850. That Combia Vespiquen are coming on down. Look at this. They're going to be bursted down very quickly right here. And Zug going to take that portal on back with the hyperspace hole and then come right back into the action. So this is a nice refresh. Hit that reset. And then you got the mini dread of that Audino right here. And so that's going to be hotly contested as we see the top path. They're going to be dumping in some of these larger point values for this stage of the game. Go ahead and stack it up, Lutano. It's all good. Get that 1. And then maybe pick up a 5 right here after another 1. And so this is looking good.
And yeah, they are currently out here trying to get as much as possible. You already see Gaimin Gladiators, they dunk and then they already go back to their spawn side, just going to go ahead and get some more of the buffs going their way, making sure that it doesn't get stolen up by any of the IXGT members. So keeping that pressure there, they're trying to go ahead and get ready to rotate possibly, or be able to rotate a couple players up to top to go ahead and help out Lutano up at top lane. But we'll see how well Gaimin Gladiators is going to be facing off against IXGT. Especially in this early game, levels are going to be important, especially moving into the first dread.
I'd love to read our chat, of course, and get y'all's feelings before we hit some of these objectives if we have time, but ICIC was saying, egg noob. Back to Zero saying, we support both teams in this house, and of course, Morb said that's based, but Kappa and Nando saying, GG's the GOAT, GT the GOATist. So, if you were definitely taking the last games as an indicator, you may be right, but I think anything can happen, right? We've been saying that too much, so I think I should get out of the cliche, huh? So anyway, the hyperspace hole goes down right before the bees. They're going to be throwing that down, and it's not going to help as much as I think they wanted to for Gaimin Gladiators right here setting up, because I think they were looking like, hey, we're going to have our full HP. We can just hit these bees at the last second, but no, GT was all over that, man.
Yeah, they mainly used it to go ahead and recover, and now they have to get ready for this Dreadnought. Both teams are in position to go ahead and take this fight. So kind of a big objective right now. Blissy's going to be able to get out of the fight, but not so much Lucario. Lucario dropping very low. Going to get brought down by Lutano. Now the rest of the team is looking at the back line, potentially trying to get a couple of members down, taking out Espo. So Lutano already grabbing 2. Dread drawing really low is actually going to get brought down this time. We will see if IXGT is going to go ahead and get a couple more cleanups as they already secure that down, and somehow the fight is going in their way. Indy returning back trying to go and take the fight down here. Can they get a kill? No, Kratos with the crits is going to be too much for them.
Absolutely right. And so now we're looking at, of course, the kind of lay of the land is going to be a lot of the teams rotating for the Rotom up top is generally a thing, but you have to obviously cater to what's going on. And so if you still have some of the Gaimin Gladiators down on the bottom, IXGT knows that they want to keep some members here. And so you have the choice with Hoopa now, especially to pull out that mobility at the last second with that hyperspace hole on the goal. So it's a little bit less of a, the risk, I would say, associated with that is a little lesser. Now, if your Hoopa goes down, like in this case, it's going to look real good for Gladiators, right? Because they can dump in that 15 and then get a 5 right here from Sneaky Seal. So looking real nice. Maybe Zug go ahead and score in a 4. So this is looking good, looking solid, and pick up the Rotom.
Yeah, they are going to go up and just continue to score these tiny goals here. But meanwhile, up at top lane, Gaimin Gladiators has already secured down that Rotom, allowing it to push forward. And now they might be trying to get out and return back to the fight. That's how you use the Phantom Force here. 40 just waiting for that push. Might be waiting for a couple of players to come and TP up before breaking that goal. That's exactly what they're going to do. He already traps Espo. No way of getting out. So now it is going to be Otter. Possibly try to dive that. Not going to be able to take it. So now they're just getting in position. Gaimin Gladiators trying to take the goal advantage, trying to apply a lot more push here as we have the next Dreadnought spawning in about 20 seconds here.
We'll definitely be looking at that, but it does seem that there's going to be a major skirmish right now. And if you take that goal out of the picture, IXGT can't teleport in as easily. They would have liked to have that. They did get a few members in, I think, just before the goal went down. So we're going to be kind of looking at a mishmash of all of that. And with all those dynamics, you can see our Lucario players all kind of going for it. And now we got the Dreadnought in play. So this is where the rings are unbound. You got to see all these Unite moves. So there's the Hydro Typhoon as well being thrown out down here. Rapid spin on in and out all over the place. That's how you play Sneaky Seal. Good job. Going to secure that. Gaimin Gladiators taking on the next Dreadnought right here.
Yeah, and IXGT just says, you know what, they can't really score off of it. We're just going to go ahead and reset. We'll play the jump pad. And yeah, that might be the play. They might not have that level of pressure right now, but being able to let the levels work out for them is going to be important later down the line. So Gaimin Gladiators has the level advantage. IXGT just got to go ahead and figure out a way how they're going to play catch up at this point.
So this is going to be sort of a reversal of the last match we would have commentated there for the grand finals. Is that, we were saying this about GG, saying like, well, look at the whole picture, right? Try to look at the levels, try to look at the objectives. Don't look so hard at the score. It is a little bit further than I would say that score gap was back when we were commentating that match. And so 202 to 21 is a little bit on the higher side. Now, it's not out of reach, right? Because when we enter that final stretch, if you get that 50s, that's going to be Hundo Dunks in right then and there. So, you can really change around the match when that final stretch comes in. But this is sort of the lay of the land that we're looking at.
Yeah, you saw Zugrug just trying to pace back and forth with the Blastoise, saying, "Hey, you're at 1 HP. I can take you out whenever I want." And they tried to fight back, just give him the hand, put him in the ground real quick. So that is the exact play. Now they have to go ahead and deal with this Rotom, but if anything, it's creating more space for the Dreadnought. If Gaimin Gladiators wants to, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go ahead and go home, maybe just let the Rotom go through, and now might try to go and rotate down to go ahead and take the final Dreadnought, just creating a lot of space for them, getting ready positioning wise and getting ready for this final fight. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see if these two teams are going to go ahead and face off here.
I like this. I must have, a slip of the tongue is making our new Hundo Dunkins. So that's what you can call it. America runs on Hundo Dunkin. Thank you, Morb. So yes, that's exactly right. I am a little bit hungry too. So I think the mind is going where the mind wants. You're going to see two actually of the Gladiators brought down right before this Dreadnought, and not really many others on the scene. Now we're looking for a Sneaky Seal steal, but that's not going to happen. Say that 3 times fast. And about to go back, but actually going to go ahead and rethink that because we have the final stretch to think about. And Kanashi, it looks like everybody's getting into position.
Yeah, final stretch is going down. Hoops Unbound also going to be popped from both sides. Everything is just going off. Hydro Typhoon, there goes a couple of damage hits as well. And IXGT this time is actually going to go ahead and take it. They haven't touched any of the goals, so this is actually going to make it really easy for them to go ahead and just walk on through here. You do see the rapid spin allowing them to go ahead and get a little bit more push forward as they wait for the next goal. They're just going to go ahead and pop out and then go ahead and score the goal. So trying to chase a couple of people. Espo going to get brought down as well. So now trying to figure out if they can go ahead and score. The score is still really close. They really do need a couple of these goals here, and that is going to be another one, a huge one, trying to get through here. So IXGT currently in the lead by a little bit more than 150. So now it is up to Gaming Gladiators to potentially play defense and or might be able to push in forward. It depends on how quickly they could go ahead and get this. You see that hyperspace hole already pushing from the first goal all the way to the last and trying to bring the rest of the team here. A minute left on the clock, and it's up to Gaming Gladiators to go ahead and try to get this push through. Utilizing the speed from the hole, going to be able to take a couple members back. You do see IXGT starting to collapse in here, trying to play that defense. Zugra getting in dangerously low, and that is going to be it. Sneaky Seal trying to also get out of here. They are going to be able to just get the TP back and get back onto the spot, but now the damage, oh, you can only do so much, Lutano. There's not going to be enough for them, as they are going to go ahead and survive on this point. The Hydro Typhoon being used once again just to go ahead and zone them out, but IXGT playing the best defense that they can, might be able to even add insult to injury and score in on this front goal, potentially breaking it as well.
And so definitely that 42 is just going to help further things. You're right, it's insult to injury at this point because IXGT, they pretty much got this. I mean, you got the 10-second countdown coming in right here. We're seeing those cheers for Eggnoob. I mean, it was really an IXGT entirety. That whole team stacked. Very wonderfully done here in this final stretch. And what you noticed also when they were scoring all of those points, you know, we heard the what a goal, of course, but Kanashi was right about picking out those little, maybe the smaller points. We saw them like, you know, 10, 20 in that range. This was good because if Gaimin Gladiators would have just gotten in that one lucky hundo in there, the hundo Duncans, then it would have been different. But having that edge was really nice because they needed that 10 or 20 points or so to not make that happen, right, for the shutout. So we'll see a final score of 4-13 for IXGT over there on the Orange Squad to 239 for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, and this is something that like we haven't seen in previous patches just because of the way how Buddy Barrier and Score Shield used to be able to stack. A lot more people were able to just step on the goal and then try to get those scores in. That is the difference now. But because of the new patch and the way how shields work, I understand that it's like it's less creative, it's less entertaining that way. But at the same time, like you have to win the Zapdos. That makes it so that Zapdos is still the most important objective. You could either win or lose off of it. So Gaming Gladiators, yeah, they did win, you know, the first 8 minutes of the game, but if you can't lock down that Zapdos at the very end, it does flip in the it flips in the opposing favor. So IXGT playing with their full squad, playing as a team. This is a team that has scrim bucks together. GG looking like they kind of flipped the script this time, losing out a couple of players here and there. It is going to be really, really different for them to get a good look moving forward in this best of 3 series. So GG now has their backs against the wall. IXGT looking like the team that is a lot more stable at the moment.
We're actually seeing in the chat right there, unfortunately, Asu Phil was saying Zap Flip meta, boring meta. You know, certainly some people are going to say that about that Zap Flip, but Morb was like, hey, consider the players like FF at 8 minutes, so that boring Zap Flips don't occur. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you constantly, I think, with Unite, because of this is a game where the patches come and usually mess things up more dramatically. You know, it's not like we see, oh, that was just a small change. I don't think anyone ever really says that, you know, and so in this case, we're flipping up really how we have to play. Remember with the XP bugs and things like that, that really had to flip up how people play too. It's just been, yeah, it's a Morbin move. Yeah, I mean, and this is it's a lot to consider right now, but yeah, the Zapdos definitely super important.
Yeah, it is important moving forward, and it's just a matter of how well these teams are going to be playing with each other. Now we do see the second lock in, kind of the same lineup that we saw from the last game, literally a mirror match if that is going to be the case. Both of these teams definitely do respect each other. It is going to be really interesting to see if they are going to switch anything. Indy still hasn't quite officially locked in Kratos. Hovering over something, we'll see what it ends up being. Could be something spicy. We won't know until it's finally locked in. Looks like it might just be the Greninja. There you go. It is going to be the Greninja. So overall, another mirror match. I would much rather have, you know, games still keep going all the way till the end. You never know what's going to happen. especially with that last game, you saw how close it was. Even though you were winning, like they got the Zapdos by playing defense and potentially being able to score, it may have even flipped the game. So we will see. We'll see if that ends up being the case. So with this squad right now, overall mirror match, we'll see if they can close this out here.
Correct. We're going to be waiting for that ready go right here for our Game 2 Grand Finals of this, the Pokemon Unite Blitz number 2. My friends, we're going for a $300 pot bonus right here. So money on the line. And this is the match, I would say, that makes all the stakes, right? Because if IXGT wins this, they are going to be sitting high up there for that first place. So we're obviously, we're all kind of waiting with bated breath, right? We're all on the edge of our seat. What are all those cliches you can say for this moment? Well, use them right now in that chat.
Yeah, my phone is going off, just being like, come on, please. We just want to see some great games, and that is exactly what we're going to be giving you guys right now.
Yep.
So IXGT definitely feeling like the more confident team at the moment. Just even though they may be losing a couple, they see how low they're bringing down Zug. They do. Now they're looking at even more. Look at Seeky Seal. The damage coming through. Can Seeky Seal get out of there? No, the Astonish is going to be able to clean that up as well. You see how tight-knit Espo is playing with these abilities here, knowing the range and the limit here. Meanwhile, Otter starting to get a little bit pushed out by Kratos up here at top, but meanwhile, yeah, bottom lane really going in pressure with IXGT. They know how they want to play this out, and it's really working in their favor.
Just to answer Vinny there in our chat, yes, Toon, of course, for Gaimin Gladiators as well as Goof for substitutions today. Toon was in kind of that last minute, you know, it was as we switched to the bracket reset, Toon had to go. So ladies and gentlemen, you have Otter playing right there for Gaimin Gladiators. Certainly a capable player, but man, I'm sure Gladiators are feeling it, not having Toon there as their central area path. You know, Toon just destructive, being able to play that multi-tool that you could probably use at a time like this where you don't quite know what are we going to pull out next. Indy actually being the one to go ahead and maybe try to disrupt the game a little bit right here, and gonna hyperspace at the last second, and obviously will not come back in there because that was gonna be a little bit more devastation than you could ask for, right?
Yeah, it's not something that you want to go back to. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not Lutano, so don't worry about it. But yeah, they did a really good job just trying to take as much as possible, sneaking out with a sliver of HP, just enough to get out of there. And you see both teams kind of having the same idea, getting ready for the first Dreadnought here. And once we start getting down there, we will see if the levels start playing out to their advantage. Right now, you do see you see IXGT playing with that level 7 Greninja kind of ready to go. Meanwhile, the rest of Gaimin Gladiators kind of playing it pretty even for the most part. A lot of them are just sitting at a nice, you know, level 6 at the moment. So we'll see if that decides to change, especially in the next 30 seconds and with the next bees coming through.
I gotta be honest, I have not seen Otter play as many like Greninja matches, I would say, as some other things, and so I know that we got people in the chat. Shadow was saying like big pressure on Otter here. I'm sure that Otter's feeling the pressure, but again, like I say, it's like I'm not sure about that Greninja. Certainly to be, I think, playing in like a grand finals bracket reset right now, they're probably saying like, hey, we need you to be comfortable with whatever you're playing. So, you know, I wouldn't doubt Otter, of course, in this case either. They're going to be bursting down this Dread right here. You can see that's going down really, really quickly, and Gaimin Gladiators will go ahead and take that. So this is looking solid. Probably a push that they would need to, because you're also going to see IXGT going to be losing 3 members right there. And with that push, notice IXGT and Gaimin Gladiators, there was kind of that slugfest still, even when it was looking bad, but you know, Gaimin Gladiators maybe can go ahead and just score in some of these.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and score, then book it immediately afterwards. Good job by Indy Bear. Might have to give up his own life for it, but overall, just trying to get out of this fight. You do see them trying to reverse the narrative right now, trying to get Sneaky Seal and the rest of the team down, but Otter has returned here, looking for a little bit of damage, but it looks like the Bliss Assistance is going to be able to get popped. Go ahead and save Talion here. They are going to return with the Water Burst Shuriken, going to be able to take out Otter. Now looking at even more Kratos, trying to get a little greedy here, trying to look at possibly Indy, maybe even more. They are going to be able to TP them out. Once again, Zugrug just looking to maybe just disrupt them, prevent them from going ahead and scoring for free. Just tossing some eggs, trying to get them out of here. But for the most part, this fight at bottom has still been going on. Meanwhile, just like continuing the slugfest.
Yeah.
Healing up however much they can. They are going to be able to TP out. Espo actually going to get pushed away. Good heads up play by Zugrug in order to prevent that. The Hydro Typhoon going to create a little bit of space now. We'll see if they decide to go ahead and break this. They're trying to go ahead and get VGC, or they're trying to get Otter to go ahead and score in here, but he is getting brought down quite quickly, trying to survive, get the HP. The little one that in is going to be really good for them. Now, Zug gonna have to back up. Sneaky Seal also probably gonna drop down here, and now the fight is over. I can maybe even catch my breath. We will see. But IXGT now applying more pressure to this front goal. It doesn't look like that's the case. I'm never getting a break. Here comes another Typhoon coming through. Gonna be able to pick off one now. Gaimin Gladiators, Indy gonna be able to pop that. Hoops Unbound, trying to bring even more players in, looking at even more. Can they get Black CH? They are going to be able to bring them down. And now Dreadnought has also spawned. It is just perfect timing for Gaimin Gladiators if they want to take this Dreadnought. They're still looking at this. They now going to pop the Hoops Unbound for the side of IGT, and they're going to steal it away from Gaimin Gladiators. Continuing on with that pressure. This fight has been going on for 2 minutes. I've had my Hot Pocket in the microwave already. It's probably burnt by now, but now the rest of them are still continuing to push on forward, trying to take away this first goal. Another Waterbird Shuriken coming out from Kratos, going to be able to break down one. Can they be able to break down even more? Now the rest of Gaimin Gladiators still rotating in. Indy trying to get out of there. Can he do it? It's not going to happen. Kratos going to be able to put the nail in the coffin, and finally going to go ahead and score in here, break this first goal, and not have another fight at Dreadnought for the rest of the game, I hope.
Certainly a clutch Unbound. You're right, in the chat right there from Morb. A lot happened right there. So clearly Kanashi pointing out that 2.5 minutes already. I mean, that was just absolutely nuts. So you're going to see that back and forth. Kratos right now dropping really low. We're getting actually a very clutch kind of that you hide in the shadows, right? And then you can hopefully get on out. I think GG was a little bit wise to it though. So they were trying. It's just you luckily had the rest of IXGT that was there, able to sort of stave off this hit. And so it was looking nice. It was a little bit, had you clinching, you know, your pearls or whatever, you know, grabbing your heart. So anyway, there's going to be the Hydro Typhoon going down from Sneaky Seal right here. Hopefully this can provide a chance for Gaimin Gladiators. They are just still trying to look to overcap on this goal. Kanashi, you were trying to call it, and it was just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, and here comes another Hydro Typhoon, this time out by IXGT, trying to go ahead and find even more people in the backline. Can they go ahead and scoot them off? Well, pretty much we've only had a bottom lane cam this entire game, and this is just exactly how they want to go ahead and play this out. Another 18 seconds, we're going to have another Dreadnought right before the next, before the final stretch. So we already see Gaimin Gladiators trying to get back in position to go ahead and take this, but it looks like it is going to spawn up in a couple of seconds here. See IXGT just kind of gauging where they want to go. But now the E-speed resets from Lutano, just trying to go ahead and get themselves out of the fight, maybe create a little bit of space, force them to chase that instead. They are going to go ahead and bring down the first pick. They're looking at even more, and this time Gaimin Gladiators is going to be able to secure that down, utilizing the hyperspace hold in order to get out as well for IXGT, pushing in and getting out. So now Gaimin Gladiators is going to have that level going their way, but it is still a very close game, literally within 4 in terms of score, but also now Gaimin Gladiators turning their attention to the Rotom. If they happen to burst this down before the 2-minute final stretch, it is going to be a big thing for IXGT to take care of. Now, Hoops Unbound coming out from Gaimin Gladiators. You see them pushing on forward into here. They're just going to let the Rotom go ahead and charge through. Now the hyperspace holds coming out from everybody. IXGT is going to be able to secure that down this time. And now Gaimin Gladiators definitely have to figure out a way how they're going to go ahead and score here. They're continuing on with the pressure, not allowing Espo to go ahead and get out of here. So now Gaimin Gladiators have to find a way to go ahead and apply this pressure through. They are going to go ahead and score off of that Rotom last hit, but Sneaky Seal going to get brought down. Meanwhile, IXGT trying to score as much as they can. Lutano going to get scared off by Kratos, trying to figure out where they are. Lutano 1 HP going to get brought down by them. So now they are within 200. It is definitely not game over yet. Gaimin Gladiators have to just find a way to go ahead and push through. Do they have the space or the time to go through their Indy, trying to get that speed, going to be able to send himself back home? I don't know if he's going to send himself back. He is. So now it is just a matter of, can Gaimin Gladiators get into this fight and get out of here in time? They are going to be able to TP. Phantom Force is also online, going to be able to bring them back. So now here with the team, Otter ready to go. Now it's a matter, 50 seconds left. Gaimin Gladiators looking for an opening this time. Going to be able to tip in, use that Phantom Force in order to get themselves back. And now they don't know if they're going to hit the first goal or the last goal. They are going to be using that hyperspace hole to go ahead and TP up to the front. Is that going to be wise enough for them, though? Gaimin Gladiators trying to create a little bit of space, but the Blastoise going to be able to use the Hydro Typhoon in order to create more space. Trying to burst down the rest of Gaimin Gladiators here. Can they get the score through? They're too busy fighting, getting pushed away. And now they're going to be able to get sent home. Indy trying to get this last score in, but everybody has returned back, and they are trying their hardest to get this score in, trying to let Lutano get that final score in. Can they do it? 80 gonna go down, but that doesn't seem to be enough. They have to get another one. Can they get another one? That was 38. They're continuing on with the score. These are gonna be huge. We have to see what the tally is gonna be at the end. It is very, very close.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gladiators asking you, are you not entertained? Because if you are not entertained after that, that is one of those final stretches where you push and push. But look at this. It's going to be IX Gaming right there with the 561 to GG's 491. This is insane.
Yeah, it was insane. Literally going down to the wire. I was looking at the last seconds of it. Just a couple more scores, it would have swung the other way. But IXGT playing to their strengths, understanding what they need to prioritize in these fights. Kratos, ridiculous damage, just going through and running through everybody. No words, just appreciation for both of these teams right now.
You've said it all right with that. So I like to see that Egg Noob is joining us in the chat. Thank you so much, Egg Noob. Wonderfully played by you. But yes, you are correct. The MVP Kratos right there. I mean, Kratos. It was really everybody, though. That it was the team effort. And GG also had the team effort. I mean, at one point you saw Indy trying to push solo. You know, right there it was just teleport back in. And so if you kind of wash, rinse, repeat, right? You know, that process until you can make something happen and get the rest of your team in there. So just amazing. Great job. We love to see it. IXGT gonna be your champions, ladies and gentlemen, for this, the Arcway Gaming Pokemon Unite Blitz #2.